So we were discussing up to, as you told, up to granulocyte. There are three different types of granulocyte: neutrophil, eosinophil, and basophil. And we have also seen that granulocytes are type of WBC which contains granules. Now what we have to study is about the A granulocyte. And the last class I have discussed with you that agranulocyte are those type of WBC which do not contain any granules, absence of granules. That is why they are known by the name agranulocyte, absence of granule, or granules are absent. There are mainly two different types of agranulocyte. One is known by the name monocyte, other is known by the name lymphocyte. Now we will first see about the lymphocyte. One interesting thing about the lymphocyte is that here you can see that this is the lymphocyte. They are the smallest of the WBC. So this is the lymphocyte. Now if you look at a lymphocyte, if you take a drop of blood and make a blood smear and you observe it under a microscope, compound microscope, you can see a WBC, different types of WBC. And lymphocyte is one of the easiest type of WBC which you can identify. The advantage, the peculiarity of lymphocyte is that the lymphocyte will be having a bigger nucleus that is almost completely occupying the cytoplasm, and there will be a very thin portion of cytoplasm around the nucleus, and its cells and this lymphocyte is smaller cells compared to the other four types of WBC. The smallest WBC is a lymphocyte, and it has a big nucleus almost occupying the entire portion of the cell, or there will be very little cytoplasm. That is the peculiarity of a lymphocyte. Now there are some other features of the lymphocyte. Now they are medium or large lymphocytes, are generally seen mainly in fibrous the presence of occurrence fibrous connective tissue. We can find a lot of lymphocyte, and also present in the blood. In the bloodstream also we can find a lot of lymphocytes. There are two areas where we can, one is in the blood, other the lymphocyte is present in the fibrous connective tissue. There are different types of connective tissue in our body, and fibrous connective tissue is one such type, and lymphocytes are mainly present in the fibrous connective tissue and in the blood. Now going to the function of the lymphocyte, is you can see here that they are important in destroying the cancer cell. Because if you take your body, you know what is a cancer. Basically cancer is uncontrolled multiplication of a cell. Normally every cell will stop multiplying after a certain number of times. Now what happens in the case of cancer cells is that this control of multiplication, that is after a certain times of multiplication, most of the cells will die. But in the case of cancer cells, this process won't happen. They keep on multiplying. That is why those parts of the body which is affected by a cancer is becoming larger, or that there will be swelling on that portion, because the cells are keep multiplying. So that is the peculiarity of the cancer cells, and one function of this lymphocyte is to identify the potential cancer cells at the beginning stage and remove it or destroy it. So that is one important function of the lymphocyte. So lymphocytes will be destroying those cancer cells at the beginning stage itself, so that it won't become a problem for your body. Then and there are another function. The lymphocytes will be also destroying cells affected by the viruses. Normally what viruses are doing, now a virus is a very small particle. They don't have any cytoplasm, or they don't have any cellular machinery like mitochondria, Golgi bodies, etc. What most of the viruses are doing is that they enter into the cell and they will be using the resources of the cell and produce several thousand copies of the virus itself. So for that the virus will be utilizing the cellular machinery of the cell, like mitochondria, Golgi bodies, nucleus, ribosomes, etc. By utilizing the resources present in the cell, the virus is multiplying. Virus is making several copies of itself. So this process is also harmful for our body. So what second function of the lymphocyte is that lymphocyte will be identifying those cells which are infected by the viruses and will be killing. And similarly, sometimes the foreign invading cells, some bacteria will be entering into the cells and will be occupying certain cells. Such cells which are affected by viruses or other microorganisms will be destroyed by the lymphocyte. So destroying the cancer cell is one function, and destroying the cells which are affected by virus or microorganism is another function. Then if you look at that, the lymphocyte, they present antigens to activate other cells of the immune system. Because if you take our immune system, the immune system is formed of several types of cell. There will be antibody producing cell. There will be macrophages, cells which are capturing a bacteria and swallowing. Such cells are called macrophages. Then there are several cells which are directly attacking the microorganism. So the immune system is protecting our body by the combined effect of several cells. In several different ways, our body is fighting with the microorganism and also protecting it. So one function of the lymphocyte is that they will capture these microorganisms, or what we call the antigens. They capture the microorganism and they will bring that microorganism, that microorganism to other immune cells like monocyte or neutrophil. They will be having a phagocytic function. So they bring or they present these microorganisms to other WBCs present in our blood. So thereby they can destroy some of the microorganisms or some of the viruses or bacteria. That is why they present antigens. Normally antigens are substance that trigger the formation of antibody. Normally it can be a virus or a bacteria. Any substance which is present, which are present inside our body normally do not trigger the production of antibody. Only foreign substance which are usually responsible for the production of antibody. So in the case here, when a microorganism like a virus or bacteria is entering our body, they will be acting as an antigen. And what lymphocyte is doing is that they collect this antigen, combine with this antigen or attach with this antigen and take them to the site of WBC, other types of WBC, and in that way they will kill it. So this is the function that lymphocyte is doing, and that is why they are known as antigen presenting cell. Then that sometimes we use the name antigen presenting cell. Then another function, they also coordinate the actions of our immune system. Like they will be secreting antibodies, and they will be secreting and they are also responsible for immune memory. Secreting antibodies means there are only few lymphocytes which are few cells which are capable of producing antibodies. So one function of the lymphocyte is that they will be secreting antibodies, and there are different types of antibodies. Each antibody are capable of destroying certain specific type of viruses or other type of microorganism. So these are the functions of the lymphocyte. And there is one term which is remaining, that is immunological memory or immune memory. Normally in our body, you might be remembering that once a bacteria, now for example, the best example is polio or chickenpox. Once you get a polio, normally there is little chance that you have a second infection of polio. Same is the case of most of the, for example, chickenpox also. Once you have chickenpox in a childhood, then it is very unlikely that you will have a second infection of chickenpox again in you. Sometimes some people will be having, but normally it is very less. So normally what happens is that once a microorganism is entering in your body, our body will be producing antibodies against it, and that antibodies will be killing the viruses. And a small amount of antibody will be still present in our blood. and these antibodies will be circulating in our blood throughout our life. So next time when the same virus is entering your body, these antibodies which are formed during the first infection will be immediately multiplying and start attacking the virus, and they will be creating a very strong fighting response or immunological response and kill the virus without virus affecting your body. Now, then this kind of mechanism happens only in the case of DNA virus. Now, right now, what we are facing with the corona is not a DNA virus; it is an RNA virus. Now, problem with the RNA virus is that they have only one set of normally in a chromosome we can two pair, one pair is there, two strands are there. But in the case of RNA, there is only single strand. Most of the RNA viruses are single strand. Other problem with the RNA virus is that each time they are multiplying, they will be undergoing some mutation or some change. So when a virus is multiplying 1000 times, what happens is after 1000 times there will be a lot of variation from the first set of virus and the 1000 set of the virus. Then may be completely different. That is why right now we are facing different variants of the coronavirus. We have alpha variety, gamma variety, delta variety. Now recently we have heard from the Bombay that delta plus variety is also coming. So problem is that in the case of RNA virus, these viruses will be undergoing a mutation each time they are multiplying. So more the rate of occurrence of the coronavirus, more will be the chance for mutation. If the virus is affecting only 1000 people, the chance is very less. But if that virus is affecting 10 crores people, then it has a lot of higher chance for multiplying, then also producing a lot of variants. And some of the variants may be more harmful to them. All the variants may not create a lot of problem, but some variants. And that is why some variants are able to even escape vaccine. As a vaccine, നിങ്ങൾക്കെന്താ കേൾക്കാൻ പറ്റുന്നില്ല? എന്തെങ്കിലും പ്രോബ്ലം ഉണ്ടോ? ആരോടാണ് മെസ്സേജ് എഴുതിയുടെ കേൾക്കുന്നില്ല എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞു? മറ്റുള്ളവർ പറഞ്ഞേ. ഓക്കെ. എന്താ എനിക്ക് തോന്നുന്നു ആതിര ബീവിക്ക്, ഫാത്തിമ ബീവിക്കാണ് കേൾക്കുന്നില്ല എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞത്. ബാക്കിയുള്ളവർക്ക് കേൾക്കാം. ഓക്കെ, ഫാത്തിമ ഒന്ന് ഓക്കെയാണ്, ഒന്ന് ഓക്കെ. ചിലപ്പോൾ നെറ്റ് ഇത്തിരി വീക്കായതായിരിക്കാം ചിലപ്പോൾ. ഓക്കെ, നൗ വി വിൽ കണ്ടിന്യൂ. So in this immune memory, this is a problem. The immune memory, what happens is that our body will be remembering the first attack of the virus. How it is remembering the first attack? During the first attack, body will be producing certain amount of antibodies. These antibodies will be remaining in our blood throughout our life. So second time when the same infection, same microorganism is attacking, the antibodies will quickly multiply and producing a set of antibodies which can immediately destroy the microorganism. So that kind of memory, that kind of response is known by the name, or that phenomena is known by the name immunological memory or simply immune memory. So the lymphocytes are the important type of cells which are responsible for immune memory. So that is another function of the lymphocyte. Now we will see the function of monocyte. Here you can see that this is the monocyte. This out of that there are different types of cell, and this is the monocyte. Yes, you can see that monocyte is comparatively larger than other. This is the smallest, and these three are granulocyte, and this is the agranulocyte. There are only two agranulocyte. One is a lymphocyte, other is the monocyte. If you look at the monocyte, monocytes are bigger cells, and their nucleus is kidney shaped. That is one important peculiarity of the monocyte. If you look at a monocyte, the easiest way by which we can identify a monocyte is that monocytes are kidney shaped cells. So that is the best. They have a kidney shaped nucleus, and they are larger cells. So these are the peculiarities of the monocyte. Now if you look at that, their cytoplasm tends to be abundant cytoplasm. Here if you look that in this lymphocyte, we have a very thin layer of cytoplasm. Here there is a thick layer of cytoplasm will be there. That is abundant, lot of cytoplasm. will be there. Abundant cytoplasm is there. So that is a peculiarity of the monocyte. Then the my cytoplasm is also relatively clear, very watery. The functions of the monocyte. Regarding the functions of the monocyte, if you look at the functions of the monocyte, they function in differentiating into macrophages. What are macrophages? Macrophages are actually phagocytic cell. You might have studied about one cell capturing and eating another cell by making a small opening, and that process is known by name phagocytosis. So the macrophages are capable of phagocytosis. So that is one important peculiarity of the macrophages, and monocyte is one of the important macrophages. They phagocytose the digested dead cells, sometimes pathogens, sometimes dead cells. So basically they either phagocytose the remains of the dead cell, or they will be directly feeding on or eating on the microorganisms like bacteria or virus. They will be attacking it and swallowing it, and will be killing it inside cellular structure. So that is a way by which the monocytes are able to kill, and this process is known by the name phagocytosis. So most of the monocytes are macrophages or phagocytes. So they are able to undergo phagocytosis. Now another function of the lymphomonocyte is that they also present antigens to activate us. Here you can see that in this of lymphocytes are capable of producing antibodies or presenting antibodies to other type of WBC and for killing it. And a somewhat similar type of antigen presenting function is also done by the monocytes. So the monocytes have that important function. They present antigens to different cells, and thereby destroying or killing it. So these are some of the functions of the monocyte. Now we have to see one more type of cell, which are the platelets. Here you can, if you look at this, that these are the platelets. So this is the WBC, this is the RBC, this is the platelets. As you can see that platelets are very small cells. Actually, most of the platelets are formed from the bone marrow, remains of the bone marrow, and they cannot be called really as a cell because they do not have a proper nucleus. So that's why platelets are only fragments of bone marrow cell. We cannot find a proper nucleus here, and they are very small cells, and they have some number of important functions. These are the one function of the platelet is that they secrete vasoconstrictors. What are vasoconstrictors? Vaso means blood vessel. Constriction means to reduce its diameter, to constrict or narrow the diameter of the blood vessel. So what vasoconstrictors are doing is that they will be responsible for shrinking of the blood vessel, or the constriction of the blood vessel, or reducing the diameter of the blood vessel, so that little blood can pass through the blood vessel. So that is the problem of reducing the diameter, and that will be causing to vascular spasms. Spasms means contraction. Vascular means blood vessel. So there will be contractions or in the blood vessel, which are called vascular spasm, and thereby they will be reducing the flow of blood. So the important, for example, if there is a site of injury, now what happens after some time is that there will be stopping of blood after the formation of clot. How this mechanism is taking place? Normally what our body is doing is that body will be pumping lot of blood to that region, and a lot of WBC will be coming there. After some time, what body will do is that body will be constrict or shrink the blood vessel which are pumping blood to that area, so that little blood will be coming to that area, so that the loss of blood from our body can be prevented. So this mechanism is known by the name vasoconstriction. By vasoconstriction, they will be constrict the blood vessel, they reduce the diameter of the blood vessel, so that little blood will be only forming. Another function of the platelets is that platelets are responsible for platelet plug. Here I will show you, this is how the platelets plug is forming. So this is a site of wound, this is a wound or a site of injury. Now normally what happens is that after some time lot of WBC will be coming there, this WBC, all WBC will be sticking together, and they will be forming a clot, and that is what fibrinogen and fibrinogen. By the help of with this fibrinogen and fibrin, they will be forming a clot, and this clot will be blocking the blocking the loss of blood from our body. Along with this WBC fibrinogen, one type of cell membrane, platelets. Platelets will be also accumulating at the site of the wound. So that then thousands of platelets are accumulating, that they will be forming like a plug. That is why or a plug or a cap. And this plug will be blocking the release of blood, blocking the loss of blood from this wound. So this is how the platelet plug are preventing the loss of blood from our body. So that is another function of that. Platelets are involved in producing platelet plug to help in the to stop our bleeding. Then another function of the platelets is that they act as procoagulants. What are procoagulants? Some factors which are promoting coagulation. So there are different type of factors, clotting factors, so which are helping in the coagulation. So they secrete procoagulation or clotting factors to promote blood clotting. So substance which are helping the blood to clot are known by the name procoagulants. So one function of the platelet is that they will be secreting certain substance that act to help in the blood clotting. So if these platelets are not there, the process of blood clotting may not take place. So thereby platelets are performing an important function, especially in the coagulation or in the clotting of the blood. Then another function, they promote blood clotting, and they are also helping in dissolving the blood clot. So dissolving means breaking down the blood clot. When blood clots are no longer needed, they will dissolve or destroy this blood clot, and they will be taken to the and these blood clots will be fed by macrophages or phagocytic cells. So one function is that they produce they help in the formation of blood clot, and they also help in the destruction or dissolving of the blood clot. So this is another function of the platelets. Now here if you look at that, the platelets are important in this digesting as well as destroying the bacteria. There are different types of bacteria, and these bacteria are usually destroyed by the formation of the platelet plug. Then you can see that some of they secrete chemicals that attract neutrophil and monocytes to the site of for example, this is the wound area. Now what happens is that first a lot of platelets will be coming there, and platelets will be forming a plug or a mass plug or cap there. When a lot of platelets will be collecting here, what happens is that these platelets will be releasing some smaller chemicals, and these chemicals will cause attraction of monocytes as well as neutrophil to this wound site. So that lot of WBC will be coming here, and all these WBC will be sticking together and forming a thicker clot. So this is how the platelets are helping in the coagulation process of coagulation. Then you can see that if you look at they secrete growth factors to maintaining the lining of the blood vessel. Lining means the inner wall of the blood vessel. To protect it from destruction, they will be releasing certain growth factors, and these growth factors are responsible for protecting the inner lining or inner covering of our blood vessel. Now the first three functions listed above refer to important homeostatic mechanism in which platelets play a role in bleeding. One function is the formation of vascular spasm. Vascular spasm means where the wound happens to that area, the blood vessels which are supplying to that area will be contracted or constricted, so that little blood will be coming to that area. That process of contraction or constriction of blood is known by the name blood vessel, is known by the name vascular spasm. Second function by which the platelets are preventing the loss of blood is that they are helping in the formation of platelet plug. So platelet plug, here you can see in the picture, platelet plug means a lot of platelets will be collecting there, they will be sticking together and they will be forming a thick structure or a plug like thing, thereby preventing the loss of blood. Then they are also helping in the blood coagulation. Here you can say that because they will be attracting a lot of neutrophils and monocytes to the site of wound, and thereby they are helping in the coagulation. So these are some of the important functions of the platelets, and especially you must understand what do you mean by a platelet plug. So what are the functions of the platelet plug? All these you must keep it in your mind. So with this topic is over, and in next class we will be seeing what are the various kind of diseases which are affecting the circulatory system. And before that, we have to see what is the mechanism of blood clotting. That's an important section, how the blood clotting is happening. So that part also we have to understand, and for that we need one full class all again. So we don't have sufficient time. It is already 2:07. So with this I am stopping here.